Hey guys, alright, today we are watching another Alternate History Hub video. This time, what if Pangea still existed? Well, a lot of things would change. Maybe see larger empires, perhaps even more spread out similar cultures, like, the Aztec culture is pretty unique because it has an ocean separating it from the other fucking cultures of Europe and Asia and Africa. And yeah, and then of course, separating Africa and Europe, you've got the Mediterranean Sea and deserts and whatnot and mountains. So that brings about other reasons, natural land borders forming differences of culture. Let's go ahead and hear what Alternate History Hub has to theorize.
The way they are. Hopefully this isn't a new fact for you. Over its vast lifespan, Earth has mashed its land masses together. In fact, over 300 million years ago, all of the Earth's continents were connected into one large supercontinent called Pangea, surrounded by one superocean called Panthalassa. For over 100 million years, the Earth had only one continent and one ocean, until breaking up and eventually forming the continents we see today. Boo! What if in an alternate timeline, Pangea still existed? The continent simply never broke apart, and if humans arose to spread across the world, how would civilization be affected? Before answering these questions, we need to discuss a few facts. This is all theoretical. If Pangea was still around, it's best to assume humans wouldn't be. Yeah. Evolution is a cause and effect process affected by the environment and geography. The simplest change in climate can affect the lineage of a species, forcing them to adapt or to go extinct. Without an Africa factor for apes to be able to rise, Homo sapiens ancestors would have gone down a much different alternate path. This said, we can still place humans on Pangea for the sake of the theory. Plus, it would be boring without us. Humans are resourceful and would be able to spread and conquer this Pangea
just like a virus.
But geographically, what would this planet look like? Pangea's specifics are a mystery to us. We can only get a basic look of what its shape was and hypothesize from there. Unlike today, where most land is in the northern hemisphere, most land on Pangea was south of the equator. Long mountain ranges arose in the center of Pangea from connecting continents, similar to India pushing up against Asia, creating the Himalayas. Because of these mountains, arid desert landscapes formed due to the lack of rainfall. It's been theorized mega monsoons swept from the ocean and brought rain to the equatorial regions.
That'd
be
fucking terrifying.
The vast rainforests which span the equator, which is present-day North America and Western Europe. Fun fact, a lot of that coal used to bring Britain into the industrial age and mined in West Virginia was from the lush tropical forest millions of years ago. Yay, science. Back on track,
science, yeah.
Human civilization would be drawn to the coastline, just as in our timeline. No surprise. Tribes and nomadic people would roam the less hospitable lands. Even if all of humanity shared the same continent, this does not mean they would be more connected. If large deserts or rainforests did form in the center of Pangea, they would just be as limiting to communication between people as any ocean would be.
True.
We see this in Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa is connected to Asia, just as it is with Europe. Yet there was much less communication. Very little trade occurred, not counting East Africa and Madagascar. Parts of Sub-Saharan Africa were almost the equivalent of the Americas in its isolation, which is why tribes like the Zulu still use spears up against British machine guns. This was because of the natural barriers of the Saharan Desert and the Congo jungle. Both regions were very difficult to cross before the Industrial Revolution and create a rift in communication between civilizations of East Asia and Europe with Sub-Saharan Africa. The point is, we could still see the same effect in Pangea. Deserts could split east and west, while equator rainforests could split north and south. Present-day North America and Eurasian peoples could develop a culture independent of South American, African, and Australian people. This is all theoretical though. There is no 100% accurate way to predict how things would have been. This was just my 2 cents on the matter. Pangea itself is much of a mystery, but it's always fun to explore the possibilities in geography. What do you think the world would be like if Pangea still existed? Say it in the
I
comments.
didn't really
Like us
expect
on
this video to
Facebook
be
and
that
subscribe
short.
if you have not done so. This is Cody from the Alternate History Hub.
That went fast. Okay. And it's also one of his older videos as well. Well, not so old because obviously I think that was his newer. Because it sounded, the voice quality sounds like the kind of quality he has today, but the length of the video is very much like his older ones. But yeah, this was a good video. Of course, there really isn't much you can really say about this topic because you're going so far back, and you can't really say much more than what he said. Like, yeah, I think they probably, there would have been, these cultures would have been similar or whatever. These guys would have been locked off, blah, blah, blah. And obviously it makes it harder because we do not know the specifics of what Pangea looked like. We don't know where the mountain ranges were, where the deserts were, where the rainforests were, etc., etc. We don't know that. And without that information, it's harder to make a prediction or a theory as to what people lived where and what their cultures would have been similar to, or if they would have had similar cultures to one another, despite the land length differences. But yeah, good video. I love Alternate History Hub, one of my favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to leave a suggestion down below for what you want to see me react to next, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.